Thank God it's Friday. Welcome to the show. I am Morayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I never do this alone. I have the ladies with me. How you do? I was about to say Nima Akasha Zivi, but everybody's stuck in traffic. How you doing, Tokwe?
I'm very good. So I got my cowrie earrings from Ramota. So she did something similar for YK, and I'm like, I love it. So I'm rocking mine.
Is it heavy?
Yes, it is actually. I probably wouldn't wear it often. It's fashionable.
But it's really nice.
Fashionable, but really heavy. I wanted to thank a lady that gave us very useful gifts. I don't know who this person is. Mariam, you.
Tanya Ajayi.
Tanya Ajayi. Tanya
Ajayi.
Tanya Ajayi, God bless you. You see, I love Bath and Body Works. Like the sprays, I got a coconut spray. You have no idea how much I love coconut. Everybody knows I drink coconut milk. It is amazing. God bless you. Very useful. My kids were screaming when they saw you got twins. The twins. I'm like, God bless you. We have so much love on this show. I appreciate everyone. Even if you don't give us gifts, you're giving us prayers. We appreciate you. Thank you.
I love the lotion she sent. I mean, the body smells nice. It smells great. I love it. I mean, I never used to use stuff like that that has fragrance. But this one's a really, really, I think it was orange and ginger. Like, who does that? Orange and ginger. It tastes great. It smells great.
She just reached out to me, and she loves the show. Every time she hears us talk about something, she goes to the shop and then she buys and keeps. And it's her first time in Nigeria. She came to visit her family for the very first time.
I hope you got to meet her.
Well, we're planning on meeting, and she wants to meet everyone. She loves the show. She told her whole family about the show. They say she's even more informed about Nigeria than they are in Nigeria because she watches the show.
That's lovely. We would love to meet her.
Thank you so much, Tanya. How are you doing, Mariam?
I'm doing fine. So on the 5th of June is World Environment Day, and the theme for this year is to restoration of the ecosystem, and that's just mainly for us to come together and do all that's necessary to make sure that we recover the ecosystem, especially parts that have been damaged and degraded over the years, and then to protect and conserve the parts that are still intact. I always talk about how each and every one of us have a role, and we have and give value to our ecosystem, and the degradation of one side or one part or one species affects us all. So it's important that we put our hands together in working towards protecting, conserving, and recovering our ecosystem. So Nigerian Conservation Foundation has like a series of activities they're doing across the country. In Lagos, people are planting trees. In Bonny, they're going to be planting coconut seedlings along the shore, to help with the erosion there as well. In Calabar as well. So I know people will be asking, what can I do on my own? How can I be a part of it? You can plant a tree, you can plant, make your environment green. You can use, you can take care, recycle, reuse. Instead of using plastics over and over again, you can have one plastic bottle that you use for your water over and over, instead of using different.
Or you can just put content about it as well.
Things. You can educate your children so that they will grow into adults. That are doing better.
Right, what's up?
Okay, well, its time is up. Unfortunately,
I'm so sorry. I took up all the time.
I was going to talk about the book, but it's all right. I'll just slide it in very quickly. So I'm doing my second interview at 5 o'clock today. So please join me online if you can. As many of you know, I'm working on the book, and it's about 8 chapters. So today we're going to be interviewing for the second chapter. Please join me on Facebook. I'd love to have you. All right, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll go through the front pages of the paper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Okay, let's start with The Nation. Why Insecurity is Rising by Lawan and Ayade. And Ganduje also said a few things. Okay. Government rejects failed state verdict by CFA and ex-US envoy. Magami, I didn't tell Buhari to suspend constitution. 9.9 billion naira Muniya Iseyin Road inaugurated. Okay, which story are we taking? And there's one more story. Oshun attacks. We lost 4 men, say police.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, let me take the Oshun attack. So armed men, they said about 35 of them went on a rampage yesterday in Ikire and Apomo communities in Ire, Wole, and Isokan council areas in Osun State.
Ikire.
So Ikiri. Okay, so this they said they attacked 2 banks, and fortunately, hunters in the community were able to dispel them. They didn't get any money, but 4 policemen and 3 other residents of those communities were killed. They said that they had come into the community long before the attack itself, and they stationed themselves in different places, bear parlor, everywhere, you know, just in different places. And then once the attack started, they were shooting sporadically all across the community. They also attacked the Oba's palace as well. They threw a dynamite into the palace. So, of course, the police are on it. Investigations are going on, and hopefully, you know, it's just the wanton display of violence and brutality that's happening, and just the audacity and the confidence that criminals have these days to just carry things out.
All right, so I was going to take the major headline. We had the Senate President, Ahmed Lawan, the Cross River State Governor, and the Governor of Kano State, saying a few things on why they believe the insecurity is rising. Lawan had said that he believes strongly that people cynically projecting ethnic, religious, cultural, and geographical diversities are the ones causing this increase in insecurity. I added the governor of Cross River State also added that he believes that Western democracies were sustaining the crisis because of the benefits they hope to get from the country. And Ganduje was then given the Riot Act to the police to ensure that they rise up to the challenge and fish out these insecurity, these criminal elements within our country. Okay, let's move on now very quickly to the Punch. Getting new constitution almost impossible, says National Assembly. Unilorin student allegedly raped, found dead in room. Police arrest 3-man gang for stealing victims 572,000 naira through ATM. Akeredolu states call to legalize Indian hemp and insist on benefits. Autumn in Oyo inaugurates roads, rebukes APC for poor governance. Core members, parts of defense, can be mobilized for war, say NYSC. To stop abductions, sponsor factional bandits, Gumi tells federal government. Presidency berates ex-US envoy magazine over Nigeria is a failing report. Okay.
Let me start with the human interest story.
Please.
A 300-level student of University of Ilorin, Blessing Olajide, was found murdered in her room at her residence. They said that she was a student of agriculture in the University of Ilorin, and said the school, as of the time of the report, when they found her, said they had not heard anything about her death, but probably it happened off campus. But the police are aware that it happened. They said when they got into her place, they found that she had been, like, her mouth had been covered and there were bruises on her private area. So it seemed like she had been raped and murdered, and they are taking her body to the hospital for autopsy. This is also, there was a story yesterday in the paper also, this happened in Delta State about a 29-year-old lady who had had a male visitor, and by the time he left, 2 days later, her neighbors opened her door because they hadn't seen her for a few days, and they found that she had been raped, and also body parts of her had been taken away from her. So,
they removed her body parts.
That's another thing that's going out there.
Okay, let me take the major headline. Getting new constitution almost impossible, says National Assembly. So they said the Deputy President of the Senate and Chairman of the current Ad hoc Committee on Constitutional Review, Senator Ovie Omo-Agege, has said that it's going to be very difficult to change the Constitution total 360. And the reason is because, according to him, what the Constitution allows for currently is an amendment. And there's a Section 9 that actually allows that needs to be amended to allow a total change. And that's going to take about 4/5 of the House to vote.
Agree.
And then for that, and that even currently, it's difficult to get a 3/4 or 3/5 of the House to agree on certain issues. That it's going to be almost impossible. It's not impossible, but it's going to be difficult to get that many votes to actually agree on a drastic change. And because the Constitution itself only allows for amendments, not a total change. And my question is,
that's
human beings that did this thing.
So that's exactly why we should. I'm wondering, what's the place of referendum? What's the place of the clamor of the people you are representing? Why is it going to be almost impossible to get 4/5 to agree when people are clamoring? I want to take the core member story. The Director General of the National Youth Service Corps, Brigadier General Shuaibu Ibrahim, mentioned on Channel Television show that the NYSC members are on standby. The the NYSC members are on standby. They are part of Nigeria's defense. That what do they think they are doing in that first 3 weeks of orientation? That women learn how to play in the military band. They learn how to blow the army horn. And that they go through this process so that they build patriotism towards the country. And if there is any need to deploy people, they are also in the line of defense.
We already knew this now.
Yeah, we've always known that.
He came on our show and he said the same thing, but I guess people didn't pick it up. He said the same thing. And I think it's part of what the
training is about.
Even the constitution or the bill that sets up this NYSC, that they are to be used.
Yeah, soldiers waiting.
Yeah, soldiers waiting. Well, obviously, there's quite a lot of memes online
about this.
Everything. Shama Sherry.
Honestly.
Okay, is there any other story in Punch that was interesting that we wanted to take? Okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
Daily Sun. Bitterness, sadness rule Nigeria now, says Obasanjo. APC has failed, lacks capacity to lead, says Otom. IPOB, onion dealers suspend supply to Southeast. Senate forecloses totally new constitution. Malami denies issuing Buhari memo to suspend constitution. Sit up, tackle insecurity, Khan tells Buhari. Troops kill, arrest scores of terrorist bandits in 2 weeks, says Defense Headquarters. Ethnic, religious bigots fueling insecurity, says Lawan. Okay, which story are we taking here?
Let me take the onion dealers. So the Onion Producers and Marketers Association have ordered the suspension of the supply to the markets in the southeast for onions. And this is because 2 of their trucks, we remember recently, were stopped by allegedly IPOB members, gunmen, who now took their produce and gave it all out to, of course, meaning that people who were involved in the farming and the sale of these onions lost out. And so because of that, they're saying that they're no longer going to be supplying onions to the southeast. Of course, this is not good news because we know that the way our country is done, we're interdependent, especially for food from the north, and people are afraid that this will cause scarcity in the southeast. So we need to be careful. We're all together in this. Okay. We should be our brother's keepers.
All right, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue with the review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're going to continue with Daily Sun. Talk had a story, bitterness, sadness rule Nigeria now, says Obasanjo. Want to take that story?
Yes, so the former president, Obasanjo, while speaking at his book launch, a book written actually in his honor by, titled The Man, the General, the President, by Femi Karena, a former aide to the president. The book was facilitated by the vice chairman and CEO of CFAS Group, Dr. Taiwo Olayinka Afolabi. And the book, while he was talking about the book, he said Nigeria has abundance of human resources, abundance of natural resources, listed the fact that 5 international organizations are being led by Nigerians, 2 of Nigerians are at second level of international organization, and they are doing well, from the African Developmental Bank, which is being headed by Aki Adesina, to AFRIFF Bank being led by Benedict Oroma, talking about OPEC, talking about WTO, which is our Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, the UN. And he was listing that despite all of these resources, Nigeria should be not just, he didn't use the word giant of Africa, he said Nigeria should be the leader of the black race.
Right.
But that rather than having milk and honey flowing in Nigeria, what we have is bitterness and a deplorable state within the nation. Okay. Buttressing what we've always been saying, but
this is because of the insecurity and the decline in our economy.
And also buttressing what Governor of Kano State, Ganduje, has said, that we must turn these ethnic difference that we have into an opportunity, because the world would love to have what we have. We have a huge...
You recommended education, though. That was his first, that the option is educate people.
Okay, moving on very quickly to Vanguard. We can't give Nigeria a new constitution. Senate, I think we talked about that already. Malami denies asking Buhari to suspend constitution and declare martial law. Yoruba Republic Soyinka disowns fake WhatsApp account. Foreign herders invasion. Southwest governors must take action now. State of the nation, Nigeria is dripping bitterness and sadness, says Obasanjo. NDDC board, militants vow no retreat as Akpabio meets Tompolo. And Nigeria home to $9,100 millionaires worth 207 billion naira, says report. Okay, which story are we taking?
Okay, the military has come out to refute the rumors that due to the appointment of the new Chief of Army Staff, Major General Farouk Yahaya, that there is going to be a mass retirement of senior military officers. And he says at that level, retirement is on a voluntary basis. There's nothing like that happening. And so it's important that people know that, because we know how these stories pick up steam and people will repeat them over and over again. So that is not true. It is not happening.
Okay, so Professor Wole Soyinka had denied a WhatsApp group that was created in his name to propagate the agitation for the Yoruba nation. He's saying that if he has any views concerning anything, he knows the proper medium to go through, which is the press. He wouldn't use any WhatsApp. He's not even part of any of these WhatsApp groups or Facebook blogs or Twitters. That he will communicate his thoughts via the press and not any online outlets.
Let me take the Tompolo stories.
Okay, go ahead.
So I've taken the story consistently over the past 2 months when the Niger Delta youths are threatening to cause a showdown if the board of the NDDC is not inaugurated. Now the paper is carrying that Senator Godswill Akpabio has gone to Delta to meet with Tompolo, who his official name is really long, but is known as Tompolo, who is an influencer among the Niger Delta youth, to canvass for calm. So the meeting is meant to hold, and then he said, remember a few days ago he gave the ultimatum. So it is regarding this that the entourage of the minister is going to have a meeting to find a peaceful resolution, and they are reaching out to other stakeholders from the security angle to make sure that there is peace within the region and that peace is maintained.
Right. Okay, moving on now to the Nigerian Tribune. Let's find a story we've not taken. I won't relent in transforming Osun State, Oyetola. Nigerians in pains, provide good leadership, Otom tells Buhari. Alleged planned invasion of Southwest, we are ready for you, hunters tell foreign Fulani headsmen. NECO board approves Ogborodi as acting registrar. $1.5 million clinical trial costs, delays first local COVID-19 vaccine, says federal government. Partisan politics listed by concern now, says Mimiko. And Nigeria now flowing with bitterness and sadness, says Obasanjo. Who has the Governor Oyetola's story?
Yes, so the Governor of Osun State, Governor Oyetola, got an award from as the Blueprint newspaper's Governor of the Year 2020. And he said when he received the award, he was in Abuja. The statement was that he wasn't going to relent. This is an acknowledgement of the good work being done in Osun State, and he's not going to relent continuing the good work he has started, and that between our good administration and the good people of Osun State. So he dedicated the award to the people of Osun State and all the people that work with him in his team to achieve the success so far.
You have the vaccine story too?
Oh, yes.
I have $1.5 million clinical trial. You want to take another story, Mariam?
Well, I think we missed, I don't know if it's also in the Tribune, about the wealth that Nigeria has recorded, about 9,100 high net worth individuals who have a minimum net assets of $1 million. So we have about 9,100 Nigerians that have at least $1 million. And it says that when you also look at the total wealth held in Africa, the top 5, Nigeria is one of them. So we have South Africa, Egypt, Nigeria, Morocco, and Kenya. But then it says in terms of wealth per capita, Nigeria falls on 11 because the wealth is not well distributed. So it's just a small number of people. So we do have a lot of money in Africa and then in Nigeria as well, but it is not well distributed in such a way that it will make an impact, on everyday lives.
Yeah, I was going to mention, somebody told me to mention it when we're discussing achievements that Nigeria has had since years of democracy, that we've actually moved a lot of people into being very wealthy, but we've also moved many people from being middle class into major poverty. So there's a clinical trial that's supposed to start in Nigeria so that we can have locally made vaccines. So the statement from the Minister of Health, Dr. Osage, Henry. I mustn't. This is my people. Hanere. These are my people. I must not spell their name. Osagie Henry said that there's a $1.5 million required for the clinical trial. And there's no personal interest involved, but that we don't have the money, so we need to start sourcing for this money, getting sponsors to help with the investment into vaccine production. That there are about at least 2, perhaps 3, according to his word, Nigerian laboratories that have developed what you can call vaccine candidates. And in fact, yesterday, there was talks to bring the 4th laboratory to bring out another vaccine locally made within Nigeria, but there is need for $1.5 million to conduct clinical trials.
All right.
So we need money.
Long and short.
Okay, did anybody take stories in this day? Let me just mention a few ones. Emefiele guarantees manufacturers steady supply of forex is in this day. Africa's oil-producing nations rally against threats to fossil fuels. Obasanjo, bad leadership has turned Nigeria to a land of bitterness and sadness. INEC presses for law to transmit election results electronically.
So I want to take the story of 70% of government agencies host data abroad despite $220 million local infrastructure. Now, I've heard this story personally of how many of our software used in our government parastatals are foreign software, and we have local software developers. So this story is saying that what they gathered was that there's a huge infrastructural investment by Nigerians into this ICT space, but there's a capital flight between $10 to $20 million by Nigerian government to store data abroad, and this is also not safe because apart from capital flights, our essential information is at the risk of being tapped internationally because we are storing our data on international server. So I think this is something that the Minister of ICT, Minister of Communication can look into so that we can retain some of these funds being taken abroad and empowering other people's countries when we can do it.
Okay, fortunately, that's all we can take. I'm trying to see if there's another story we've not taken, but I think there isn't. Okay, let's go on a break now. When we come back, move on to the hot topic of the day. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So, it's Friday, so there's some gist we see online that attracts us, and we just thought, you know, we should discuss this on the show. So, a Nigerian artist, Eva Alodia, questioned why married men go around without their wedding rings. She said this habit is making it so hard to know which men are available and which are not. She's like, man, stop it. Let us do. I can't have a mental conviction that, okay, this guy is a possibility. And then my mind begins to prepare, and suddenly I come to you and then find out you have kids, you're married. It's very, very, disheartening for the average woman. So what's your problem? Why are you not wearing rings? What are your thoughts on this? Why are men, married men especially, why are you not wearing your rings? Well, you can call us on 081-270-53687. You can also call us on 091-390-7694. You can tweet us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag your view TVC so we can read your tweets. Okay, so which one of your men? Oh, Nima is back. Before you started, Nima in the building. What happened with traffic? Rain in Lagos.
Rain, traffic everywhere, and I think everybody just went to sleep. Although I would have gone to sleep too if I didn't leave home early before the rain. Everybody just left us at some point, stuck in traffic, heavy rains. And I thought I was going to get robbed this morning. I really thought so.
Same
There were some boys just walking around. I had to start calling, please help me. I'm with my laptop. Please help my life. Can I get out of this traffic before this?
We need to motivate our security men so that, because walking in the rain
is soft. But there's something that is the cause of traffic. So the Maza Signal Barracks axis of the service lane is under reconstruction presently. Although it's overdue, it was supposed to be completed at the end of May, but it's still not complete. You then have one-way buses coming from Murile, turning in front, and nobody does. Every single day, we have to wait for them to be turning. Right. Except the military staff buses behind us, nothing happens to them. Please, Governor, ensure that those people, they enforce one way. At least if they do 3 people, 4 people.
I know. We have to go to our gist. Permission to move ahead.
So, Brian, when I saw this tweet, actually, and I forwarded it to my husband. Because we've been married for over 10 years now. And if I remember calculating it correctly, for about 5 years now, he has not wear a ring.
Oh, he worked for the first 5 years?
Yes, he worked for about the first 5 years.
Okay.
And then something happened. The ring, we could not find it again. And I said, it's not so hard to buy another ring. But I've let it go for a while. When I now saw Eva's post, I was like, this is true. Sometimes some ladies are good ladies. You know, we have the bad girls and we have the good girls who are looking for husband. They will not see the man have invested time into making him look good. And they will not start prospecting him because he does not have ring. So if he has ring, the good girls will look at him straight and say, there's no prospect.
But does he have mouth?
No.
If he does not have ring, does he have mouth to say, I'm married? I don't understand.
Exactly. So why do we let the ring announce for us? Why doesn't let the man announce?
Why are you deliberately not wearing ring today? I don't understand.
Let me just tell you my own story. My own story, after the first year, my husband lost his ring. So when he lost his ring and he now refused to wear, me say, two of us, two gave four.
But you wear it occasionally.
Once in a while, when I go to some important places, I can wear. But the first time, after the first year, and he misplaced his ring, I removed my own, I put it there. Anyway, whenever you buy your own, but right now, both of us are not wearing rings. And we are okay. Nothing's happening. I'm not worried.
My own is just much more sillier than that. My own is, if it doesn't fit the outfit I'm wearing, I don't put it. If it fits the outfit and the other jewelry, I put it on. My husband doesn't wear his ring. He has his ring, and sometimes I wear his own too on my thumb. So it's good.
Why is this ring thing, when it comes to you, that your own husband wearing?
He started, he bought himself, he bought us a ring recently and insisted he will never take his rings off.
Oh. And you,
I religiously wear mine. It's always been me. You know, there's some attachment to my own ring. No, my ring is not just wedding ring. There's some attachment because I made sure I didn't receive my ring at the proposal one place. I insisted when he wanted to give me a ring that has to be part of my engagement and it has to be in front of my parents. So something as, you know, like, as that for me, because my...
But the question is, I like to go to the issue, is that why is it important for married men to wear rings? I think it's not necessary.
No.
I mean, as long as the man, because it's the man's responsibility to say, I am married. So it's not about the symbol of the ring that signifies you're married. For me, I would like my husband to, in fairness, I would like him to wear a ring. But if he doesn't wear it, it doesn't bother me.
No, for the single girls who have a problem now, those who are looking and it's supposed to be a pointer to whether they can proceed or not, it's beyond ringo. If you can get a secret agent,
investigate looking for men with ring now. The ones that are looking for
even the ones wearing ring now, you can't tell. But there are some who, with their rings on, have 9 kids, and you are finding out on the morning of your wedding. So yes. Some very heart-wrenching, shocking news I received.
You always hear those kind of stories.
So please, investigate the man. Now we are even in the world of social media. So you're talking to me, your name is, I'm so person. Mohammed, just first of all, go online and check the names. If the handle and the name don't tally, first
pointer. What is private account?
No.
First pointer, second.
For me, honestly, I know that there are some people that are not very good with jewelry. So it's not like my husband who is, some men, they wear earrings, they wear chain, they wear anklet, they wear bracelets, but they cannot wear ring. That's a bit suspect. But I understand a person that actually doesn't even enjoy wearing jewelry at all. So it makes sense.
No, I need to call out my husband.
Secondly, I feel that if you don't have a ring, you have a mouth. Bro, hello, hi. Be honest, no, I'm married.
Go back to what Eva said. There's a mental connection when you go to a party and you just see a guy, that's a prospect. Yeah. And, you know, and as a young and a single lady,
then you look at his hand.
I mean, you not look at his hand, okay, he's single. You not go somewhere, you not go where you see.
You will not raise the expectation that you will not say, I'm married.
No.
Is that mental torture?
It does not make sense because you have a mental whatever of somebody, and then when you get to talk to them, you realize that people you don't want to ever have anything to do with.
Okay, so that's another
when they are not married. So your mental is just your mental. Put it aside. Have a conversation with the person. The person is wearing a ring or not. Also find out if the person is married, because some people will give you stories. I'm divorced, I'm separated, I'm not, you know, and they have a ring. I'm just used to wearing it. See, that mental thing is just one step. So it's a fairy tale until you have a conversation with that person.
So let me speak for all the people that understand the value of being married and wearing ring. You know, you are different. Me, I believe that before I got married, there were a lot of things I wanted to do because, of course, you always get propositioned. And it was just a bit, like you go outside, people start trying to toast you by force. Oh, yeah, when I get married, I'll be able to do some of these things because I'll wear my ring. And if you come around me, I'm like, hello. If I wear short dress, it's not, when people talk online and say, oh, she's wearing, your dress is too tight, your dress is too short, I said, did my husband complain when I was leaving the house? When I was single, I did not go to those kind of parties, dancing. I didn't do all those things. I waited that when I marry, in the cover of marriage, with my ring, I will now
your nakedness.
Do my shakara anyhow. I'll do my shakara how I want to do it. Okay. And I think that many times I have seen cases where having my ring on make people say that, oh, this person is taking, let me not approach, or let me just respectfully say, oh, I was admiring you, but I noticed you, oh, nice to meet you, your husband is so blessed.
So
and
you've never had anyone say, I would like to change that ring?
So those ones are there, those ones are there, those ones are like the... But I think that is also important. It's a show of commitment for me. I never wore jewelry before I got married at all. I'm not a jewelry person. But since I got married, this ring has been... The only thing that takes out, maybe I want to wash or there's a soap stock somewhere. I've always worn my ring. My husband, on the other hand, Mr. Makodigi, I'm calling you out here, they should report him. He was wearing a ring on his finger all through when we got...
You're single?
When he was single. Then we got married. And then you changed the ring to marriage ring. And then you lost the wedding ring. And you did not replace it. Since he got married, he's not wearing it again. So, my...
Nobody doesn't brand Mr. Mark. And the way you are branded him online is not enough, but you have to put a ring and brand.
Yes, I want him to be totally mine.
Who wants to carry you?
Is it a ring?
Anyway, ring. I don't like jewelry like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I have never really worn a ring. So the wedding ring was actually it was a torture to put it on my finger. So I was waiting because society said wear it. So the moment the husband lost his own, trust me, I was like, hallelujah, excuse me, yeah. It's somewhere, I see it once in a while, it's somewhere hanging out in my wardrobe there. But it's not a big deal for me.
Exactly.
And I don't think we should make it a big deal. So the question is, there are two things. Should we make it a big deal, one? Secondly, should men wear their rings such that single women know they're out of bounds? Because that's what Eva is saying, that let us know that you're taking. So we don't even think about it.
Helps.
So is that necessary, or should we say, no, the man is the one that is responsible to say, Auntie, I'm not available. Men don't have, they have problems saying it to their own mouth.
The problem for me is that wearing a ring or not does not determine anything.
Yeah.
So let's just even just, it's really not irrelevant in this whole scheme of things.
No, but
just as Miriam said, if he says it, just pray he's honest enough, he's telling you the truth. Find out more. Go deeper before you
thank you. It's not about what he says or what you see. It's about the research you do about him.
Yes. But there are some men that are deceptive, and some girls innocently fall into the trap. So it is that case of I innocently met a man and we started gisting and we had a conversation, interesting conversation, and in my mind I'm thinking, this guy is prospect. He's cute, he's nice, he doesn't have a ring, he might be single. We didn't discuss marriage, but my heart is feeling warm, you know? Yeah. But if you can meet someone, you see his ring, you have a conversation, you know immediately that this man is taken. So I can have that conversation without expecting that any emotional attachments can come in. So I think it helps. But there's also the shaming. So I know someone that called me, someone I respect a lot, and harassed me concerning Mariah not wearing her ring.
For real?
Yes, and the person was, I didn't tell Mariah because the person told me that, tell her, why would she be married and she will not wear her ring? And I think that we need to address that part too. So I might be calling out my husband jokingly on the show, it's just for show. But we shouldn't harass people for their personal decision. Everybody live your life as it pleases you. So don't say because Mariah is not wearing ring, you will not remove your own ring. Or say because Tokwe is wearing ring, you must wear your own ring when you're not comfortable with it.
Yeah. But there's also something I need to say, which you've mentioned many times over, about your heart feeling warm and things like that. And people take those heart feeling warm, butterflies in their tummy as a serious thing to base whatever relationship they're about to embark on, upon. So the thing is, those warm feelings, you're allowed to, after all, people watch movies and they feel warm feelings towards RMD and all the others that they know they are very married and almost grandpas. Do you understand? That is just a feeling. It is nothing serious. And then when you get to meet the person and you speak to the person and you find out enough about the person, then you should start have serious thoughts about having a relationship with the person. But that warm, fuzzy feeling is nothing.
So let me just address that point. You see, the reason why I'm comfortable not wearing my ring is because I'm on the show. Everybody knows I'm married. People know my profile, that I have 4 children for more than 1 married. So they know that. But if I am not on television, if I'm just a private person, and so maybe it will be important for me to wear the ring, because when you go out, people must know that, okay, you're not available for those kind of conversations. So the reason why I'm comfortable without the ring, because many people already know they know my profile, and
they know your husband.
They know my husband.
But I don't have, and then we have a group of people that were saying, even though they know we're married, and
they'll still come and meet you.
It's
so annoying. Mora, let's talk about that. It's really, really bad. It's really, very, very disrespectful.
The ring is not a show.
Let me go on a break. Okay. Let me come back. We'll continue this conversation before we bring in our guests. But there's another. Thanks for staying with us. So joining the conversation is Chioma Ude. She's the founder of AFRIFF, the African International Film Festival. She's also the Chief Executive Officer of Envivo Communications, an ardent lover of film. She started a logistics company called Jata Logistics, and that was the beginning of her journey into film. We'll talk about it a bit later, but let's welcome Chioma in the building.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Very happy to have me.
We'll dig into your work a bit later, but I wanted you to join this conversation because we're talking about the fact that a lot of married men don't like wearing their rings, and the fact that young single ladies feel it's wrong for them not to wear their ring because it makes them feel as though they're prospects, and they're prospects, and they feel it's really mentally torturing for them to feel that there's a prospect in a guy, and then finally find out he's married. But we've taken that conversation to a point where we're now saying, even as a married woman, you wear a ring, and some people still come to you, and you're thinking, like, how? So let me come to you. What are your thoughts on this? Then we'll come to the other angle.
Why shouldn't they come to you? You know, we're very hypocritical, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And who says that the girls want the guys to wear the rings? I'm always on the opposite side of things anyway.
It's okay, go ahead.
So I'm not married. I have a ring.
Yes.
It doesn't mean anything. To me, it doesn't mean anything. Right. So I'm not sure the girls, that the girls are looking out for the rings. Things are so different, especially here.
Yeah.
They're just looking out for themselves. They're smart enough to know that the rings mean nothing.
It's not about the rings anymore.
No.
It's about the conversation.
Yes.
So your ring is not it's not value.
I grew up feeling like the ring was a symbol.
Yeah.
And it was a symbol.
Respected symbol.
It's a respected symbol.
Right.
That should not be trampled upon or mistreated. Like, if I see a man with wedding ring, I expect that he should be a responsible man. Over time, of course, I realized that I've seen men as a single girl that had their wedding ring, had their children's picture as their screensaver, and they were coming to my makeup studio then and were promising me that they love me from heaven to wherever. Exactly. And I'm like, you're married, you have a ring, like, you should be responsible.
Exactly.
So I feel that this is a symbol of being a responsible person, and I hate the fact that it's been so disrespected to the point that me wearing a ring, a man will still come and proposition me like, who do you think you are? Who do you think I am? So it's an insult to me for you to come and meet me. You know I'm married, so am I like, what do you think?
So what's the new value proposition of wearing a ring? Maybe there's none.
I believe that the ring is beyond a symbol of that you're married. I think it's also a symbol of commitment. You know, rings across, but outside marriage for some people in businesses, it means a lot of things. It means, you know, for some it's even a sign of authority. Some people would stamp their documents with their ring. So for somebody to have a marriage and is committed to wearing that ring, it shows some level of seriousness with that relationship for me.
Can I say something? Yoruba says Ojulorowa. No matter what ring, like the conversation really is in the eye. So if your posture, the way you are standing and looking at somebody, even with or without a ring, the girl knows you're interested.
Yes.
So it's not so much about the ring. It's how you behave, it's the way you are focusing or looking, it's the kind of attention you're paying to that person. So why are we putting emphasis on the ring and not on the person themselves?
So for me, I think that, as you said, ideally the ring is a symbol. And for me, I think it's mostly between the couple, which is a form of saying, I respect you and you respect me. And since this is important to us, I'm going to wear this to show your respect. But for the girl coming in, now that's someone that is looking at somebody. Please, it's not just the ring that determines if this person is a prospect or not. You need to have a conversation with this person. And if you meet a person who is deceiving you and saying, oh, he wasn't wearing his ring when I first met him, so I fell in love. But now you know that he's a deceitful person. He has deceived his wife at home. He will deceive you too. So
let me come to you. Have you ever had this experience where you meet a guy, you think he's single, and never go, this guy is even married?
I have a good radar.
Oh, good radar. I like that.
I've never met anybody and I thought he was single when I know he's married. I really haven't.
I mean, there's something, it's different. Is it a pot belly? Do you think it's the pot belly? No.
What's that? Let the single girls learn.
Well, I've made a mistake once. He was divorced, but he's been married. So first of all, you check the age. I don't really mix with two young people, so they could be married, they could not be, but I don't have anything to do with them. So I know the older ones, they're all married.
You know, that's funny, because that's what my husband says. He's a lot older than I am. He says, if at my age, nobody thinks I'm married, I should be.
But also, what are the signals young ladies said? Okay, so for example now, I went for an event, and there were a few politicians at that event. It was like where was the event? I can't remember where it was. Anyway, so one politician was trying to start a conversation on that with me. Another one came to me, leave her. Don't even.
They know themselves.
They know the kind of people. So he told him, if I present, she's not the type. You know that she's not the type. Just leave her, Morel. Just go out. Just don't go. He asked me to leave. I didn't understand. I was just having
you left before you realized that.
No. Okay. So what kind of
this category of politicians? You see, those people those group you just called, they are one of the most disrespectful of this thing is called marriage. They feel because they have money, they have power, they can get any woman. And it is very, very annoying when I see that happen because you're a politician, I should respect you. But when you proposition me, I totally disrespect you from that point on. So we must, our men must be able to respect themselves, control themselves. It's not every fine girl that you must post now.
But for what you just said, this, as a single girl when I was much younger, that's the pointer for me. So if you're asking me out and your friend walks down, I listen to the language. Bros, Alpha, now you date there, immediately I'm not dating you. There are certain, I listen to the language your friends used to gist with you when you address me. Our wife, that kind of thing, immediately, because it must be a trend for you. I always, and then when we even finally do have something, I would like to see what you do around your friends, the kind of friends you keep, and your family member, the way they treat you, to see whether you're a serious person or you have a lifestyle that just keep putting up with. Some people know that their brother is a promiscuous, or their family, or even their friend. They have different language for it. One said to me that you are not a serious girl now. Where you are there doing serious, somebody is already helping us. Immediately I said, okay, thank you, because me, I will not go out on the date. I had rules, growing up. So I won't break them. And it was just gisting. And he thought he played. I laughed it off and immediately I just laughed yourself out of that.
Growing up, we all kind of dated people that were around our ages. It's changed. So now when you're going to be dating someone who is 10, 20 years older than you, you expect him to be married. It's a different approach. But if you're dating your schoolmates, you know them from school, so we didn't have all those kind of issues back then, but now it's crazy.
Listen to the
language. We're going to break. When we come back, we'll wrap up on this and then go into your interview. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
So we're going to be wrapping up on this, but let me take a few tweets before we run off. Yes.
Temitope Odunuga says, the symbol of your marriage is your love and respect to one another, not a ring. Pamela, I'm reading from Facebook. Pamela says, your ring or your marriage certificate does not rate your level of commitment. It used to be, though, but we have to relearn. So
let me take this one. This one, Lovelace Lorenzo says, ladies don't give a D. I don't think I can use it. If you wear rings on all your fingers like Thanos, they will still follow you up. As a matter of fact, the wedding ring even makes you more attractive to them. And then Festus Akimboyewa says, if your husband tells you he misplaced his wedding ring and did not make an effort to replace it, he's likely to be lying.
Okay, Abuja voice says, my place of work is full of beautiful ladies. Sometimes when they try to get close with that and they came with a wink, I let my wedding ring do the talking. Even though some of them are persuasive, my mouth vehemently reminds them that I'm married.
So you're using both.
Both to warn them off. Kemi Rewa says, there's a different level of respect I get from people when they see a ring on my finger. I bought a ring specially for this purpose, and I wear it especially to attend meetings when I'm going to certain places.
What is wrong with a single lady approaching a married man for a conversation? Because if a single lady like, what's that richest man's daughter? The one that's this ice cream song? Copy.
Okay.
A single...
Gelato.
Gelato, thank you. The young lady, she's in an event, and then you're married, and she approaches you just for a conversation. And you know you can get a link to something bigger. Would you not say because my ring is here, you won't have the conversation? So what is wrong with, why are we so...
But what kind of conversation?
No.
Shouldn't leave that on because she's copy.
No, should married men totally block access?
Should married men leave a copy on just because she's copy, because she's a $10?
No.
What kind of conversation? Hold on a minute now.
That example is even easy. If you give a copy, people... copy is okay. It's just like saying if Beyonce comes up to my husband, I'll be the one that say, "Oh God, Beyonce wants to speak with you." Do you understand? But if it's a regular person, so you don't know who she is, where she is, what her needs are, that is much more. Because you're looking at a copy like my husband cannot afford the copy, so whatever he's talking about, it must be something mutually beneficial. But with someone that you hardly know, I think it's just that protective instinct. But that does not mean you should be. But that does not mean you should be, tigress, like nobody comes close to this person,
What are your thoughts on this? Let me let you go first.
I'm very conversational.
Yeah.
So when I see people, if I'm standing maybe in an event and somebody, I turn to you and I start chatting you up.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with it.
And that's fine. Occasional conversation, social conversation.
They are very vicious.
Social conversation is good. We cannot be sitting there and I will not be able to turn to my side. I feel like social conversations should take place, but I'm not a believer in opposite sex, married, having such close friendship because emotions grow based on proximity.
Yeah.
And so I don't want a case of you are now listening to advice from another person that is not me. Who did you talk to? You know, so
anyway, we have to run. I can't continue this.
I don't forget what I wanted to do a business. Holy Spirit. Business man. They wanted to do a business deal with my husband. Oh. And they were like, okay, so we're going to meetings together. You know, we'll do this thing. Sometimes we have to travel around the country together. I'm thinking, they were just talking. I was like, I wasn't finished. I said, okay, uncle, that business cannot work.
No, but I've been in such a position. And this lasted for about 3 years. This lady was my husband's friend and we call him for everything. She would call him into the hours of the night and I'll be in the other room sleeping. Yeah. My mind was that I'm taking care of. I don't have that kind of time. You know, in everybody's position, that's okay. You know what worries me.
Now let's go into Chioma's interview. So let's drop our final words on this. Chioma, let me let you know. Final what's the summation of everything? Because our advice is to married men and young people. What's that final word you'd like to say concerning what we've said so far?
Well, it all depends on the man's feelings and the girl's feelings. It has nothing to do with the ring. Yes. I know she thinks differently. I mean, way back in the days, maybe, but now, not at all. Things are different. Yeah.
All right, so I know you're the the founder of AFRIFF, the African International Film Festival, and also the Chief Executive Officer of NVivo Communications. And I know you're an ardent lover of film, logistics, and all that. Tell us about your career, your business, and I hear you're doing some great, amazing things for film in Africa, that you just acquired this huge... Okay. Well, I'll let you tell us exactly what you're working on so that you tell us what you want to tell us. Exactly. So don't tell the world what...
Oh, very interesting. Where do I start? I'll tell you something I really like that is very close to my heart, and it's training. Oh. So the festival every year has trained so many students. And then we started to send the best 20 abroad. We sent them to America. No cost to anybody. Oh, wow. They don't pay anything. Down to the passport. So many people didn't even have passports. Wow. And so we did that for quite a number of years. And then after they started going to France, and then we partnered with so many schools across Africa. Everyone was like, oh, it has to be more African. So we left some European countries, but then we started going to like Morocco, Benin Republic, and all of that. Now they will be going to Morocco for this year's training. So in Nigeria, I don't feel, we're behind. We like to say we have all the technology, all the equipment, and we do. But you could find an equipment and you just know how to use the basic. There's so much to it that we don't know. Skills of acting, editing. So there's a film I just acquired and watched it. It was nice, just in case he's listening. And so we sent the film to the Raw, to a post-production studio outside of the country, and they re-edited it and sent it back just yesterday. I sent it to the guy who has the film, and he called me back in tears. At least he said it was in tears. I didn't see him, but he said it was in tears. It was completely redone and very different. And they haven't even finished. They haven't scored it yet, you know. So there's so much more we should be doing and we should know to do. So now for the 10th year, I mean, we're not 10, we're 12, but we're celebrating the 10th year. I'm actually going to be training 1,000 students across Africa, not just Nigeria.
Wow.
Yes.
So my question
and that's on the 10th.
You sound like you're not just doing the surface of movie industry, let's have movies, let's have series, let's do all of that. Where did the love for film come from? Like, where did you develop the passion, the interest to want to do a quality and raise people to change the film industry within Africa?
So I've always liked films. I'm one of those kids you'd ask, oh, where do you want to go to school? My uncle, when he sees me, my mom's brother, he go, I never wanted to do anything little or here.
Yeah.
I always imagined myself in Hollywood.
Oh, wow.
From when I was little.
Wow.
So I guess this is something that started way back. My love for people, more than for film, is what is pushing me to help and try and make things different.
So when you, now with all that you have done and what you have seen in the industry, what would you like for the Nigerian film industry, the whole industry as a whole, what would you like for them to adopt? What sort of questions would you like for them to ask? What would you like for them to go for training? What would you advise them? What sort of training would you advise them to seek out that would help in telling our stories in a more, vivid and interesting way?
Very good question. We always, like recently, because of Netflix coming in, people always say, oh, in Nigeria, we're paid so little compared to the rest of the world. And I would always wonder why. But in my new journey, I was commissioned by a platform to make all these TV series also. And I'm giving a hypothetical figure here. So they said, oh, we'd give you $150,000 per episode. And it seemed pretty good. COVID happened, so they didn't start. And then I also started another journey where I found out about structure. So in wanting to acquire this structure and make things very different, I went back to the studio that gave me this job at 150, and I said to them, my new partner says, we can't do this, it's a joke. And he goes, what is new with you right now? And I told him, and he says, oh, for that, we could give you another hypothetical figure. We could give you $700,000 per episode. So what we need to do differently, yes, we need to own structure. So people here say, oh, I have a studio. And it's, you can't take that away. They do have a studio, but it's not
a far cry.
It's a far cry from what really exists. I mean, when I went and I saw this studio myself, I was like, wow, I was blown away. I was taking videos, sending it back to Nigeria, and like, look at what these people have. In Africa, too. So in Cape Town, they have a lot of great studios, owned by white people, though. So they're all into the Hollywood movies and not necessarily any African movie. But in Morocco, this lady has she's African. Okay, not necessarily black, but she's African. We tease her all the time. So now, hopefully, would be in that space too. And so the conversations are very different. Before you start, you have to have development. You develop the film. You build the set. You build a city. You build what you need to have this movie done. There's a lot of money put into that. And the studios know this. So when they know that you're shooting in people's homes and on the streets, They will give you money accordingly. But when they know that you're doing this, you're building, you're doing things differently.
Let me go on a quick
funding.
break. When we come back, we continue this conversation with Chioma. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Chioma,
I wanted to know, because, you know, it's always tough to hear that women are leading certain industries. And it's not possible that you do not have challenges. But that's for the feminine side. I also wanted to know, because you have your company doing things across African countries, and I know problems are local. What's the different challenge that you have in Nigeria that you wouldn't have in Rwanda, that you wouldn't have in other countries? What's the different thing that, you know, they have?
So it'll be with different aspects. So if you say production, there'll be, I don't have to worry about the generator, all that noise. I don't have to worry about people chasing me and, you know, asking for money when you're recording. You're in the studio anyway. There's a lot. It's, you know, in Morocco, they have a 30% payback. So when you're done making a movie, the country pays you 30% back on anything spent locally.
Incentive to grow that industry.
Exactly. You know, at the airport, when you come in and you have your letter for film, it's a different body language. They're very welcoming because they understand. They've positioned their country to be for films. You know, I knew they'd done a lot of films, but I didn't know it was this much and way back. From 1940s, Hollywood started doing movies there.
Chioma, I have attended a lot of international film festivals. I've been to Cannes, Discord, quite a number of them over the years, and it's almost the same thing. Year in, year out, you see African trying to build content, and we don't have that structure. Now, I haven't been to one recently. I don't know how it has improved or not, but in your view, is AFRIFF positioned to take African content globally, or do we still need that internal local structures to before we get to that level? In your view, do you think AFRIFF is equipped to do that?
If 100% is equipped to do that, but then is the film equipped to travel? That's the question. Yeah.
So what can we do to therefore ensure local producers have access to these kind of...
I'll tell you what. On my last trip, I learned something new. So when I came back and I started writing about it in my group, other people knew about it way back. So there's something called African cinema. Now, going to LA and coming back, I learned there's something called African global cinema. And it's totally new. They've done their research. They've tried it out with the Wakanda story. They've tried it out with Coming to America too. And now they know, now it's time to plug in African faces in their films, real African faces in their films, and make it highly commercial. So when they do that, then it will travel and put the money behind it. You know, I always use Money Heist as an example. Nobody knows anybody in Money Heist, but with the last season, they were paid $400 million. And that's because the story is tight, well received globally. So it's just a way to make sure our stories are received globally, done well, you know, have all the paraphernalia in it.
So being in film, I don't know if you've heard of this group of boys, Ikorodu boys. They have gone quite global and international. You would see American actors and producers speaking with them. And they are just really wowed by the creativity that they have and how they're able to put together that with, you know, just quite minimum, with little or nothing. And I feel that that's the Nigerian market. We have creativity, but we don't have like a film company or a film... to back them up and just put in the extra. So would you say what you're doing across Africa would help people like the Ikorodu boys?
Yes, it would, but without policies from here, from Nigerian government, it also make things a lot difficult. So what are the policies in place to make this Nigeria that home for films?
So we tend to play a lot of lip service, and I feel bad that I'm going to still say we're playing a lot of lip service. Many governors talk about the importance of the entertainment industry and what it plays. They bring them into the scene when they're doing their campaigns and they use them for elections. But after that, we have been unable to galvanize, like in one word, come together. And I think it might also have to do with the fact that there's a lot of splinter groups within the industry. So we have the music, we have within the movies, you have Igbos, Yoruba, everybody's like separate everywhere. And then we're unable to come with one voice to say, this is what we want from the government. And what would you say would be the most essential thing that the movie industry should clamor for from the government as a policy?
I think, first of all, the movie industry has one voice, regardless. Yes, yeah. We've asked for so many things together, and it's fine. What should we ask for? So I don't even know where to start from. I really don't know.
So many things.
I think you're used to doing it yourself. You're used to do what you need to do rather than ask for anything.
Yeah.
Or would we say starting from the policies, is that where we have to start first?
So first of all, you have to say to yourself, what do you want? What are you asking me for? Is it for the international, for movies going global, or for the movie industry in here to be good?
Vibrant.
Exactly. So the movie industry here is good. It's not bad at all.
Okay.
If you have the money, you would make the best of what you can, and you promote it the best you can. I mean, look at Ghetto, right? But then you also have to know what the people here want. They're currently, constantly wanting to laugh. So we're going to stay on that level of comedy. It's so annoying to me, but it's draining.
How about
But that's what works.
this new industry, the online, the YouTubers, the social media? You know, you have people, multi-personality, filmed by one person. You know, people shooting, influencers shooting, and getting the commercials, getting the funds, doing everything in their studio, editing and producing. The YouTubers. I don't want to mention any of the influencers, but I hope you understand what I mean. What about those new set of people? Do they take advantage of a training like the ones you have?
Oh, yeah, constantly.
Is there a market for them as well that you...
Clearly, there's a market. That's why they're on YouTube.
In AFRIFF, that's what I mean.
100%. You go online, I don't know anybody, you apply, you're chosen.
We have to wrap up with you. I need to know, what's your message to filmmakers out there who are looking for opportunities to get bigger? Because you said we have to go higher.
Yes.
We need to stop competing in this ground level where everybody's just doing whatever, garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah.
So we need to raise more stars within the industry who are doing great material that is exportable.
Yes.
Therefore, with the platform you've created, with the structure you have on ground, what opportunities are available for filmmakers out there? Could you like to just use the opportunity to tell them so that they can reach out to you in whatever way?
So first of all, I'll be talking to the veterans, the people that are already there.
Right.
Unfortunately, those are the people they're looking for, because those are people that are known, So that when you come into a market, you want to grab the people that are known first, so you can hold that market, and then nurture the younger ones. So the younger ones should keep pushing. They have to go through the whole rigors, and the market is still, unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know, for the older people, for the hustlers and the yes. So now what those ones need to do is always bring up somebody. You have to mentor other people. You have to bring them in. You have to grow them. And so in growing them, people get to see them. You know, before, before, DSTV would have you in 54 countries and you'll be known. Now everybody wants to go on cinema. Cinema is in Nigeria. It's not even going anywhere. So you're known here and you're not known globally. People have to get back on TV to get known globally. For these foreigners that are coming to do those African global stories, to get you.
Interesting. Nice nugget.
Yes.
All right, that's all we can take. Any tweets when we run?
Yes, there's one for her. So Andrew agrees with Chioma. He said, Chioma is so right. In other African nations, they make things easy to make you want to invest in their nation. Unlike some nations, like, you know, where everything has to be so difficult, you just want to throw in the towel and with the business in that nation.
So what I've gotten from this conversation so far, there are huge funds internationally really ready to push African content, but they need the veterans, they need people who are known to come out and participate, because they want to actually, everybody's focused on Africa. That's when the new frontier. So people need to reach out to you, say, you know what, we can actually groom the younger ones, but first let's anchor these ones who are veterans, who are known, and let them take opportunity with these funds that are available for international market.
Instead of cinema, come every day.
Get involved.
Go back to the everyday series.
Yes.
Those old ones we used to watch.
Yes. That puts you out there.
It puts you out there.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Chioma.
You're
Pleasure having you on the show. And let us know when you want us to come, when you want to do anything. We'll publicize. Any final thing you want to say?
Oh, boy.
I know you seem a very shy person.
Yeah, very. I'll keep training. There's a lot to be done in that space if we have to go to the next level.
All right. Yeah. All right, that's all we can take. Thank you very much for staying with us. We're going to go on a break now. When we come back, we'll bring in another celebrity guest. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Yes, so thanks for staying with us. So he's a gospel singer in the Nigerian music industry who has been on top of his game since inception into the world of entertainment. Welcome with us, Lanre Teriba in the building. Atorise in the building. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm so glad to be here today.
Yeah, yeah, very.
Most especially in the midst of all our mamas.
Mamas, so please.
Who are you calling mamas?
All the young women, all the young ladies, all the young ladies in the house.
We are young.
You are the one that will come about because I've been listening to your music when I was like that.
Are you for real?
You have been worshiping. I've been worshiping. So okay, so
God is faithful.
This particular song is something that it was a major music for us in my church. I used to attend a white garment church, CNS, and so it was not like it was normal.
You used to attend, or you're still there?
I used to attend. My parents are still there. So
what about you?
She's a day star.
I'm a day star member.
Anyway, for me, I don't talk about denominations, and I don't have problem with any denomination.
Yes, we're children of God. So this for me was like an anthem. Everybody just wants to worship. We'll first start praising God from all those levels, and it's good to see you. You still look very young, vibrant, contemporary.
I'm still young, as you can see.
Is that going to trick? Is that really going to trick a young person?
No.
Before we came to the show, before you came on, talking about married men not wearing a ring on their finger, misleading young ladies. He said he folded his hand. But just tell us, how has it been? It's been a while. We've been looking forward to this interview. Tell us about your career, what you're up to, what you're doing, and people just want to keep up with Atorise.
Can I chip in a word?
Yes.
There's no time I come on television that I don't talk about my career. Most especially how I started my musical journey. Is that what we are here to talk about again today?
No, we want you to take us through a journey.
We know the journey. We know the journey.
Not all of us know the journey. And your viewers are across the world.
You're right.
So if you've spoken about your career on some platform, it's not.
Do you know what I always tell people?
Platform,
people that really care, to know about my journey of life, you go on my website, www.atorise.music.com. As simple as that.
Let me show you. One being here down.
Madam.
Wait. Yesterday when your profile was sent and I went online, because I don't know your music so well. I know you.
You know me, but you don't know my music.
Yes, I do. So I needed to have enough information. And the first thing that went up is, I said, Lanre Teriba says he's not a born-again Christian.
Anyway, okay.
If I now throw that question at you,
let me talk about that. You know, born again is not a day job. It's a continuous processing. I always let people understand that fact. You can't just wake up in a day and just come online or come on here and say, oh, I'm born again. It's a continuous processing. All I know, the news that all the Christians must note is accept Jesus Christ as your personal Lord and Savior.
As a Christian, we make mistakes, and life happens, and you've had your own share of mistakes.
You haven't allowed me to answer her first.
Okay, please.
Can you hold on a second? Because I'm
building somewhere.
I'm a little bit ready for you guys today. Because I know it's good. So, what do you say you want to know about me?
I said there was a controversy. Most of the things that jumped up, you were not a born again, and you sing gospel.
Okay. If I want to be truthful and candid with you, I've never granted such interview. You know, like press in quotes in Nigeria.
Blogs.
Yeah, it's kind of somehow.
Yes.
When you don't speak, when you don't talk, most time, they just want you to talk.
Yes.
So it's either they bring up something negative about you so that you want to come out and defend it. And I don't defend anything. It's more for people to talk about me.
So allow me to ask you some questions. Because there's some juicy things we know of you.
Go ahead.
That we've heard about you.
You know or you heard?
We heard.
Thank you.
That's why I want you to come and clarify.
Let's get
because
straight.
we said that you've had you've made some mistakes in life where, you know, as a Christian, people don't expect you to be of a certain to have like baby mamas, as for example.
Okay.
So how do we reconcile that as being a Christian? Because that's against what we as Christians believe, where somebody makes this mistakes. So I want you to help me clarify. Was it a mistake or was it intentional?
Is it true? Was it true?
Did it happen at all? Did you marry?
Thank you very much.
Us clarify that thing.
Thank you very much. There's one fact that people need to get straight in life. Life is not all about activities, but productivity.
Okay.
My philosophy about life might be quite different from yours.
Okay.
The way I see life might be as well different from yours as well. So to me, every human being are meant to make mistakes in life. No one is perfect.
Okay.
You understand? So as long as you make a mistake and you realize your mistake, then you correct it and move forward about life. I don't really care about what people say about me. All I care about is I'm the best person that really know myself. Are you talking about my mouth or what I know? Listen, are you me? Hold on, sister. Listen, no, I just answered you. Did you actually understand?
What is the true part? Is it true?
The true about what?
That do you have baby mamas? Do you have children from different women?
Can I say something?
You are not married.
Okay, I'm going to answer you sincerely. I don't like to talk about my personal life on here. Because what I want the public to know about me is my musical career, not my family. And that's one of the reasons why I don't showcase my wife or my children on the social media. And that reason is best known to me.
Okay.
So
why don't you wear your ring?
Listen, I haven't finished the question you asked me.
Sorry.
You guys actually... Listen. It's okay, it's fine. I'm about ready for you guys. But one thing I want you to know is... I've got my family, and what I want people to know about me is I have a family. Either it is one person that has children for me or several persons, it's none of anybody's business. It is my life.
Valid.
Okay, but you see, let me.
Are you convinced with my response at all?
Very convinced.
Thank you. It is my life. Live your life. Let me live my life.
All right. So I like that you decided to keep your family life away from your career. Many public figures do that.
Thank you.
When it comes to gospel, being a gospel artist, people, and I've heard this a few times, and they say a lot of gospel artists have become commercial. They've gone commercial, singing music to
make
money and hail human beings. You know, like, if you're a gospel artist, what's your perspective? Should gospel artists only be worshiping God, or should a gospel artist that be say, Moriah, baby, Eva,
My sister.
Are you sure you're not going to be part of this?
No, hold on. If we don't go commercial, what do you expect us to do? In this our country? Let me tell you, if I come to your table today that I need you to give me something, I do the same thing tomorrow and next tomorrow, you will be definitely tired of me. And the Bible says your gift will take you to the kings.
Hey.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So definitely we have to go commercial. We pay bills, my sister. We pay bills. And for me, gospel music is the only thing I do for a living. I've got family. I've got my children in school. I have to pay. I pay bills.
Right. Go ahead, Mariam.
Yeah, so someone is listening.
Are you one of my interviewers too?
Yes, I am.
I thought you were a guest in the building. Honestly.
Okay.
Let's go there.
Okay, I just want to know, I mean, just listening to you, you have a sort of different perspective on like most Nigerians, especially with this, your gospel music. So I have someone who is interested in gospel music, and they feel they have to be a part of the church to sing the word of God, and that unless you're ordained by God, you cannot sing gospel music. And now you're talking about commercializing. Is it no longer a calling? Is it now, given your own
naturally,
perspective?
we Nigerians, we are hypocrites by nature.
Okay.
I don't know why people try to fake life. I don't fake life. I'm too real to be fake.
Okay.
If you are going to sing, everybody, either you're a gospel artist or you are a,
secular music.
You are a secular artist. The most important thing is we are all working to make a living.
At the end of the day.
No matter what you do, most especially if you choose that particular kind of music for a living, trust me, you don't call it either a calling or not a calling. As long as you have a gift,
yes,
it is ordained by God,
all right,
naturally.
We don't have a lot of time, so I want to bring all the questions inside quickly. Looking at you, you look good.
Thank you.
You know, you're engineering.
You have swag.
You have swag.
Hey,
It's not, you can see all the
Okay, you punch as well.
So we see that. So how do you guard yourself from all these admirers? Fine girls. Anyway. How do you protect yourself and
what
your
I
family?
can say about that is it is normal.
Okay.
As long as you carry a unique glory on your head, Ogo, women will definitely flaunt around you.
Okay.
But the most important thing is you just have to be wise. The Bible said, let me say it in Yoruba. Bíbélì sọ pé ìbùkún fún ọmọ ọ̀dọ̀ náà tó fi ọgbọ́n ṣiṣẹ́ ìránṣẹ́ rẹ̀. Torí pé ọmọ Ọlọ́run làwọn máa pè. Once you are wise to guide yourself with the kind of life you have, you choose to live.
There are some girls that have serious ogo, serious anointing, serious with girls. There's some ladies.
And they have problem of men as well. Have you noticed most people that have special gifts always have marriage problem? Maybe that would be another topic for another day.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to bring you...
Nima's waiting. Go ahead, Nima.
Yes. So, alongside all the controversies I read was your relationship with Goman as the Gospel and Music Association of Nigeria.
Yeah, hold the phone.
Okay,
anyway, my relationship with Goman. Goman happens to be the Gospel Association Musician of Nigeria. And we are all cool together. But my own problem with them is, if you are talking about Goma Nigeria, it shouldn't be all about a particular tribe. And the time I was chosen as a vice president north of Goma music in Nigeria, even though people have been saying a lot of rumors before that, oh, Lanre Teriba has been banned from singing from Goma. It was that very time that they chose me as the vice president. And even as I'm talking right now, they are expecting me to contest for the president of Goma. But I chose not to do that just because I know I still have a lot of things to do to all my fans out there. And I don't want anything that's going to chain me down or keep me down. So as per Goma, the only problem I have with them is I want the body, as in the association, to carry all the tribes that we have in Nigeria. Then we can call it Goma Nigeria.
Okay, great.
So taking it back into general music, general gist, I feel that you already mentioned that every Christian, we are all on a journey.
Yeah.
You know, being born again is a journey. It's not like you, at a point, you don't feel like I have arrived. What would you say? And because somebody is watching you and thinking, I just love this person. What would you say has been your biggest struggle? Like, what would you say is your biggest victory in this journey of life? Like, what was the thing that
biggest struggle
you
and
thank
biggest
God
victory
that you overcame? And the one that you are still struggling with?
Let me start from my biggest struggle. I don't know why people will see we that sing inspirational songs as if we should live like a saint. People don't really want us to be real with ourselves.
You want to see like Jesus?
I can never be like Jesus.
But you will try.
Let me tell you,
progress.
Christianity is a way of life. It's a way of life. My philosophy about life is quite different. And my philosophy about religion is different from the way people see it. I don't preach about religion. I preach about love to people, real love. It is only when I have a real love for you that I will never wish you bad in life. It is only when I have a real love for my fellow man that I will never want to snatch his wife behind him. I don't preach about religion. That's the reason, that's what people mistake about me to be. Some people don't expect me to sing with secular musicians. Some people don't expect me to sing with Islamic artists. I don't have a problem with anybody. I am too real to be fake, like I said the other time. So I just want to be real, not about religion.
I like that. Too real to be fake.
Yeah, not about religion. So that's one of the reasons why I have few people as my friends.
Biggest victory?
Biggest victory. Let me say one of the biggest victory was when I got the visa with my full band, like 15 of my band boys to US. And we performed in like 21 states.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. So that time I happens to be the first Yoruba African gospel artist to travel to US with his full band.
Full band. Wow.
And that was 2008.
Wow.
You've been in this business a while.
Yes, so and then I said I've been listening
My first
to
album
I
came
know how
out
long
in
I've been.
1999.
That Atorise.
Thank you.
At the school at a man go.
21 years ago.
Thank you.
So I'm grilling. I'm not grilling you. I just feel that there are many things that people don't. When we have opportunity to interview like this, it is with the intention of learning from you, learning from your errors, and learning from your victories as well.
Thank you.
And that's why I asked that question. But in another dimension, the social media space has been, what has been your experience with social media? Are you one of those that feel like this thing go on you shame or are you one of those that be like, I know they just gave
My
you car.
sister,
Is this social media?
they just gave me car.
We saw it online. They gave you luxurious Lexus.
Imagine that.
Thank you. It was just
Just one of your cars.
Those things.
Well, no, one of the promise of God in our life. You know, once you are good, your good will always speak for you. And once you are bad, your bad will always cost you.
Oh.
That's the truth about life.
So, I mean, going back to your victories.
She asked a question.
Yes.
Sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
What was the question?
So I asked you about social media. Do you feel sometimes in a space where you don't want to, you want to leave the place?
Listen, I'm just learning to live with social media. I'm not a social media person. Because and what I've been learning about social media generally is most people on social media are so fake.
The truth.
They're so fake, you know. So I always educate people that are closer to me that don't follow what you see on social media. Just be yourself. Be real with yourself. That's it. So on the other way around, social media has been helpful. You know, we are in the computer world now. So we just have to follow the trend.
So let's talk about you as a family man. Would you just consider yourself a good husband, father? What are the kind of things you do with your children, with your wife? Tell us about you a bit.
I'm a father.
Abbiamo. So what do you do with your children? What are those things that...
I play with my children and make sure my children go to very good school.
How many kids do you have?
I don't disclose. Like I said the other time.
That's not play.
No, because I don't want... There's some things about me that I don't want it to be public.
Oh, okay,
It is me. That's
okay, sorry.
Let me read to you
your children.
Let me read to you what your fans are saying online.
Okay.
So Omolara Aeni says, Atorise now Shomo from Time. So you should spare us all this, my private life.
My sister.
Hold on a minute. So you see why you need to answer.
Okay.
Ogumola Emmanuel says, firstly, you're a gospel singer. Your morality is game for discussion by followers and fans. Your personal life is nobody's business, but please, just claim you're an entertainer. You know you're in a business.
Let me trip in a
you
word.
You can model people.
What that person said. Listen. If that very person has been listening to my interview, I always say it anywhere I go to that. I'm a gospel entertainer. I'm a gospel entertainer.
That's a new
For me to take gospel music to clubs. I'm trying to, Yoruba will say, it's not necessary I sing like Ayewa or I sing like Tope Alabi. The calling of Elisha is different from the one of Elijah. Everybody has their own different calling.
Yeah.
My own, I'm a gospel entertainer.
Yeah.
I entertain, I play in parties. Before, gospel artists don't sing in parties.
Yes.
But nowadays, when I started it, a lot of people are criticizing me. But nowadays, everybody are doing it.
Yes.
So if you have a vision in life, no matter how, some people will be a vision slower. It is you that will not allow them to slow your vision down for you. So whatever anybody is writing online, or my fans, what I'm selling to my fans is my music, not my family.
Okay, so now as being in that genre that you just called now, gospel entertainment, what inspires music in that space?
Are you trying to ask me what inspires me?
Yes, your music.
Okay.
And how do you
things I see around. Like we are all sitting down talking now. I've got like 1 or 2 things that I'm going to use to sing to compose by the time we finish.
Yeah, sing for us now.
No, don't worry.
Compose something for us now before we leave so that...
Okay.
Take our drum.
Hello, two.
Kọ́kọ́rọ́ ayọ̀ mi máa fi lóbìnrin lọ́wọ́. Obìnrin ò dá àwọn ilé ìsọ́sọ́ mi. Àwọn kan ń bẹ nínú àwọn obìnrin tó dá. Abiyamọ yàtọ̀ sábíàgbà. Àwọn kan ń bẹ nínú àwọn obìnrin tó sunwọ̀n. Abiyamọ yàtọ̀ sábíàgbà. Nínú àwọn obìnrin tó sunwọ̀n. Wọn ò ní kí ológo má ṣe rógo lò láyé. Nínú àwọn obìnrin tó rẹwà, wọn ò ní kọ́kọ́ má padà ṣoríire. Ẹ ṣé, ẹ kú àlejò bí.
So we are one of the ones.
Abiyamọ, and what's Abiagba? What's Abiagba?
You did not specify.
What's Abiagba?
No, we are the good ones.
The good ones, yeah.
What's Abiagba?
You are the good ones.
What's Abiagba?
Abiyamọ yàtọ̀ sábíàgbà. We are not in a Yoruba program, so when we get to
What is Abiagba?
no, let me put you guys in suspense. Whenever
no, like take responsibility for the child, because I think Abiyamọ is somebody that is very responsible.
Abiyamọ, yes.
Okay, let me say something little about that. Abiyamọ is people that not only about your children.
I love children.
You love human being generally.
Okay.
Abiyamọ.
Either you are old or young, so that is Abiyamọ.
Okay.
And a real Abiyamọ will never wish bad for any human being at all.
True.
And he will never use bad to pay back.
Yes.
But Abiyagba will always do that.
Opposite of Abiyamọ.
Abiyagba are those matured people online sometimes. They'll be writing shit about a public figure. You never know what that person faced before he gets to that stardom. And the only thing you want to use is to buy a credit of 100 naira and you'll be yabbing the person. I want to write. Some people will write as if they are living with you. They don't even know anything about you. So that is the reason why I don't follow what I see online. I don't even read it. I don't read people comments.
All your Abiagbas.
You understand? The people that I know, they are so meaningful and they have senses. Then I go to their page and
We have
read.
to run, unfortunately. I think we're going to end with your music so that we can dance a bit before we go. But it was a pleasure having you at Atorise.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming. Hope to have you soon. So let's see if you can get one of his songs.
Some gospel entertainment going on.
Yes, so.
Find this girl.
Are you ready?
Yeah, let's show any video.
The beat here. I'm not going to cry.
Yeah, you went to
No, I didn't go to Kwara. Is that what you read online?
Profile they read.
That's what I. That's what I keep.
So you don't give
No,
us
that's what I.
That's what we can
That's
talk
why I
on
said people should go on my website.
Go to the website, LanreTeriba.com.
Have a lovely weekend.